I went out to the Western Desert to visit Mrs. McLean, my old friend, who's in aged care out at Wannon, next to Warburton. On the way, before you get to Warburton, there's an outcrop of Xantheria, and my two friends and I, we stopped, and we went around taking photos of the Xantheria, and I happened to see this stick, a big flowering stick, had completely broken off, and it was just shattered on the ground. So I looked at it, and as I'm a terrible scavenger, I decided I'd bring it home because it was quite powerful looking. Anyway, I brought it home, and this is what's become this cross. You can see the flowering head on it. It's a prickly thing. It's a brute of a thing. Anyway, I decided that would be the cross, and that's the main stick. And then the crossbar is that one out, that Xantheria out the front had a huge flowering stem on, and the east wind knocked it off and on the ground. Terrible, because it hadn't started to open the flowers. It was dreadful. And they only have a stick about every 3 or 4 years. So that became the crossbar. So then I had this red blanket, which is a red onchoporinga, which I've been using for years, this nice red thing. So I covered it, and this is kind of designed to make it, strings are like antenna, these are like antenna, you know, reaching out and feeling things. Anyway, so then I'd made the cross with the flowering head and the blanket, and I always wanted to use this piece of plaiting. It's plaiting, this cellophane plaiting, because my father plaited it when he was in the war up in Tarakana, Morotai, and he's a very handy man. He could do lots of stuff. And those days everybody smoked, and the cigarette packets had cellophane wrappings on, quite a substantial piece of cellophane. So he would collect it. The people up there who are very expert platters, the indigenous people, they showed him how to plait like this. But this is very, very beautifully done, a piece of cellophane, 4-strand plaiting. So, and the fact that it's so meticulous, you know, is quite profound. And it's 1944, it's 60 or 70 years ago. It's still holding together. Anyway, it's been in our house all those years. And I asked my father several times about it, and he told me the story. Anyway, that's why I decided to use it now, because that war and the stories he told us were so gruesome. Well, he told me, and so terrible, you know, man's inhumanity to man knows no boundaries. And so really this is about the way that we crucify each other. That's what it's about. And he told me a couple of stories, you know, 3 of them were out on patrol, and they found this woman, she was pregnant, and she'd been bayoneted in the stomach. And the 3 men, none of them could shoot her, so they just sat with her, and she passed away a few hours later. But, you know, I mean, how's that for crucifixion, you know? And it's not just that, it's also, you know, the violence that I've seen from the work I've done over the years. It's just, we all know it's dreadful, you know. And so really, this is what this is about. This is about man crucifying man. And so I called it the crucifixion of the fathers. And it's always a very personal social statement. You know, it's got to have a meaning for me. I really want to show this is an answer to a question. And that's really an answer to a question.